Hello, my name is Jack Fitzmyer, and I serve on the board of the Madison Astronomical Society. As you may have heard, our board recently voted to rejoin the Astronomical League. The AL, as it's frequently known, is a national organization of some 300 astronomy clubs and nearly 24,000 amateur astronomers. MAL helped start the AL back in the 1940s, but we left it in the 1990s. That's a long, complicated, and old story. But in response to interest shown by MAS members, the board decided it's time to add membership in the AL to our list of MAS member benefits. My task today is to speak briefly about the benefits you will receive if you join the Astronomical League. But first, a bit about how all this will happen. Our membership year begins on October 1st. Our treasurer, Jürgen Patow, will begin mailing out MAS membership renewal notices the week of September 9th. We hope you'll renew your MAS membership, and we hope you'll do so by October 1st. The renewal form looks a bit different this year. Our board has elected to join the Astronomical League in a way that allows individual MAS members to opt into the AL, but only if that member wishes to do so. Jürgen has made it clear on the form how to do that. The opt-in cost for your first AL membership will be $16, which is above and beyond the cost of your MAS membership. Because the start date of our membership year does not quite match up with the start date of the League's membership year, we have set things up so that this $16 fee will provide you with AL membership through June 30 of 2026. That is, for about 21 months. If you were to join the AL as an at-large member, you'd pay $48 for just 12 months. So $16 is a great deal. Now on to the benefits of being a member of the Astronomical League. The Reflector magazine is a quarterly publication that members receive as part of their membership. It comes in hard copy by mail or in an electronic format. It usually runs about 30 pages in length and includes astronomical news, previews of upcoming celestial events, how-to articles, information about AL award programs, and it lists members who have completed AL observing programs. In the last couple of years, the League has beefed up the Reflector's editorial staff, and in my view, the magazine has improved quite a bit as a result. While it's not a full-blown magazine like Sky and Telescope or Astronomy, the Reflector certainly is a magazine you'll find interesting. The League coordinates around 70 observing programs, which are designed for amateurs who desire a bit more structure to their observing, or who want to take on more challenges with their visual observing or their astrophotography. Typically, a program requires the observer to view, image, or sketch about 100 targets of a particular kind. These may be features of the moon or a planet, a collection of certain kinds of galaxies, say flat galaxies, the objects in a star catalog like the Messier or the Caldwell catalogs, or a certain type of nebula, planetary nebula for instance. The observer records each observation in a logbook that notes their location, the date and time of their observation, the scene conditions, the equipment they used, and a few words to describe what they saw or imaged. They submit this log, along with any accompanying photos or sketches, to a peer reviewer who evaluates the work and, if it's found to be satisfactory, awards the observer a certificate of accomplishment and a lapel pin. Often, these pins are awarded at local club meetings, which is a nice touch. This is a photo of a few of the programs that I have completed, the certificates and the lapel pins. Some of the programs are especially suited for beginners. Here's some examples. There's the Constellation Hunter program, in which you sketch the constellations of the northern or southern hemispheres. The Solar Neighborhood program has you observe various types of stars that are visible from our solar system. The Beyond Polaris program teaches basic information about the moon and planets, the Milky Way, the constellations, famous bright stars, and so forth. And the Lunar 1 and 2 programs, in which you make detailed observations of all sorts of lunar features and phenomena. It turns out that Lunar 1 was the first program I completed, largely because I did not need a dark sky sight to do it. I just stepped outdoors and observed the moon from my light-polluted sky in Atlanta. There are several observing programs that require you to observe using only binoculars. For instance, the Galileo program requires you to observe many of the same objects that Galileo observed in 1610 after he built his famous refracting telescope. The Variable Star program, done in concert with the American Association of Variable Star Observers, uses binoculars to record the magnitudes of stars whose brightness varies over time. The Binocular Messier program requires you to observe 50 of the 110 celestial objects in Charles Messier's famous catalog. The Deep Sky program has you observe 60 faint objects like open clusters, globular clusters, and galaxies. And there are 2 double star binocular programs in which you'll learn how to measure and describe binary star systems using just binoculars. There are scores of more advanced programs. Here are the lapel pins for the Foundations of Imaging program, the ARP Peculiar Galaxies program, the Telescopic Messier program, the Galaxy Groups and Clusters program, and the Herschel 400 program. Frequently, an advanced program will have a particular requirement. For instance, the Telescopic Messier program requires the observer to observe all 110 Messiers by star hopping. No go-to technology may be used. The League has taken notice of the fact that in recent years, many amateurs have added astrophotography to their skill sets. So now, many of the programs have imaging options, using your personal AP gear or remote observatories like the SLU telescope network. On this slide, I've added a link to my website, which features several programs I've done by imaging. Some of these include my notes and logbook data as well. More scientific programs that require advanced skills include the spectroscopy program, the radio telescope program, in which you construct your own radioscope, the telescopic variable star program, again done in concert with AAVSO, and the new space weather program. The League also publishes very helpful observing guides. Often these are related to the observing programs, but I have found them to be an excellent resource on their own. You can purchase them from the store section of the AL website. The League sponsors other programs and publications in which you might be interested. They have an extensive awards program for club websites and newsletters, for sketching and imaging, and for young people starting in the hobby. I've already mentioned the store, which features lots of astro resources, as well as some AL swag. The League publishes a ton of material that can be printed and used at outreach events. They call these Sky Tools. And the site also has information about AL conferences, the annual conference called AstroCon, as well as regional conferences. The 2025 AstroCon will be held next summer in Bryce Canyon, Utah. The MAS will belong to the north central region of the Astronomical League. Its conference will be held in the spring of 2025 in Minneapolis. You can learn more about the Astronomical League on their website, which is at www.astroleague.org. The site contains full descriptions of all its observing programs, award competitions, and regional and national gatherings. It'll give you a great preview of the benefits you'll get if you join the AL. And if you have questions or comments about the AL or its programs, please feel free to contact me at jfitzmeyer@gmail.com. I hope you'll consider joining the League. I think that it will become a great benefit of MAS membership, and more important, that it will become a real asset to you as an amateur astronomer. Thanks for your time.